Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. This is side A of our monthly virtual interactive conference. And I gave everybody that's on my Facebook friends list an opportunity to come on here. Come on here and speak with me directly. Um, and the title of this episode is called GRCAM versus Pan-Africanism. Which will lead, which one would lead the path to Black empowerment? And I talked about Pan-Africanism. So in a nutshell, and I'm focusing on Marcus Garvey. Even though he wasn't the first person that started Pan-Africanism, but he was the last person that set the stage for Pan-Africanism. Now he's from Jamaica. He wasn't able to get Pan-Africanism started in Jamaica because they wasn't, his people wasn't supportive, sort of like what I'm going through here in America with my vision and plan to get my business up and running in Chicago. So what he did is that he came to America. He organized, some Black Americans about his vision and plan for Black people. I liked it, what he was saying. He was saying that different places that he traveled not just in Jamaica, but he also went to South America. He saw the living conditions that Black people was going through, and he didn't like it. It was always Black people at the bottom and white people at the top. And so, he wasn't having that. He's accredited for creating the colors red, black, and green for the flag. That's supposed to be the freedom flag. Now, oh yes, so the main thing he was saying that for Black Americans for us to do is, he created his own shipping company called Black Star. And so basically what he wanted to do was to encourage Black Americans to just get on those boats and go back to Africa, starting in Liberia. But the problem that two things that I didn't like that he did was one of the things is that he accepted donations from the Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klans are a racist white supremacist organization. They came out right after slavery, 1865. Basically, they wanted to terrorize Black Americans after we got out of slavery. You know, they didn't want us to vote. It didn't really matter because you're voting for a white man. They didn't allow Black people to run in public office, but yet, that's their history. But nevertheless, he took donations from them saying that, hey, look, we'll just go back to Africa. You all can have America. So they gave him money, and so he accepted blood money. So again, I did not like that. Second thing I didn't like, he left God out of his vision. So yes, I used to speak with people when I did street ministry for a while. For I'm gonna say 2 years, I met people from the conscious community, and basically they have different philosophies and all that kind of stuff. Some of it range from being secular, some of it is religious, and it's very confusing, basically. But bottom line, he did have a positive message, and that was to get Black people to organize and for us to, have go back to our own homeland, which is Africa. But one thing though, when you do the research, he died in Europe, so that was unfortunate. He didn't go to Africa. Some people say they wouldn't allow him to go to Africa. I don't believe that because he was educated in Europe, so he was well versed. Do the research. Don't take my word for it. So, And Pan-Africanism has been out for 160 years. Do the research about that too. And Pan-Africanism, all it's saying is that Black people worldwide, from the African continent throughout throughout the diaspora, we all in the same struggle. Now, the problem with Pan-Africanism, it's only one-sided. Because when African immigrants come to the United States and African Caribbeans or Afro Caribbeans, when they come over here, they reap all types of benefits because of Black Americans through the civil rights movement. And basically, this is what's going on with this illegal immigration. They're trying to hijack, our struggles. And that's how come I'm glad that Black Americans are like, hey, look, this is not our fight, because we've been fighting for a lot of groups, to come here to America, but they don't want to ally with Black Americans. They want to sit up here. Once they get here, they want to look down on Black Americans, calling us lazy, saying we don't have a culture, and that's a turnoff. Not all, but I'm just saying, and I'm just focusing on in this presentation. I'm saying African immigrants and Afro Caribbeans. I'm only focusing on those immigrant groups. But the illegal immigrants, that doesn't help Black America at all. Actually, it's they're criminals because they broke the law and they want to just sit up here and say, well, hey, look, I just came over here to work, but that's no excuse. You still broke the law and you're still a criminal, and so that all their cause, what they're doing, protesting, is not justified. But the Democrat Party, which allowed a lot of this mess to happen, they want to overlook that stuff. They want to talk about racism and all that other stuff. Those are diversions to get Black Americans to cape for them, and that's not good. And I'm glad that Black Americans are not doing that. This is all the stuff I talk about in my revised book. I even predicted that this was going to take place before it happened. I talked about that the Latino community is going to fight like hell to have their people to become citizens, the illegal ones. Here I am. I'm trying to connect with like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants within the United States to work with me to help turn my vision into a reality, starting here in the city of Chicago, so that it could be it'll be for credibility before I expand it over to the African continent. It's about us controlling our own business rather than sitting up here marching and protesting, begging descendants of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality. They're not going to give that to us. What's the purpose of them doing that when they put us in this condition in the first place? They don't want Black people to be equal. And I'm referring to, when I say they, the white supremacist financial elites. Those are the ones that caused all these problems in the first place. My thing is for us to try to work together. First, we have to weed out people within our own community that's against what we're trying to do, progress. Those that's, I would say, urban terrorists, pedophiles, hardened criminals, the ones, the worst of the worst. We can't build with those. I can't build with those type of people. So in my business, it's about raising the bar. That's what I mean by when I do this. And again, all I have is my revised book and my virtual store. And now I'm trying to do a film. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying items from my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, Willie Lynch in real time. Before I turn the show over to Apostle Faith, I just want you to say a few words if you can. But before I do that, let's see, with Pan-Africanism again, yes. So when Black Americans come to Africa, we have to come with a bag. You know what I'm saying? That means we have to bring, we have to have um, economic tangibles when we come over there. And what I don't like, I have to go there. Then I've been seeing videos about what's happening in Ghana and in Nigeria is like land scams. It's not a good look, y'all. Black Americans want to come over there to try to help improve your economy, but we don't want to come over there and get ripped off. But that's how come I want to make sure before I bring my business over to Africa that I get African immigrants right here in America to work with me and Sister Renee. So that way, that's going to be my credibility. I don't have to sit up here and waste time trying to explain who I am. My business will speak for itself. And in my business, we're not going to have no corruption. We're not going to have con artists. We're going to raise the bar. And I'm going to make sure we're going to vet everybody. Make sure that everybody's on the same page, that agree with, the vision and plan that I have in this book. All I ask is that I would say African immigrants within the United States to just read my story. That's all I ask. My book is available in two forms: as an ebook for $9.99. It's also available as a softcover book, which is what I'm holding, for $15 plus shipping and handling. I'm gonna have the link in the comment section below this video podcast so people can purchase the book and read it for themselves. I recommend that people purchase the ebook because that's the cheapest. You could download it to your smartphone. And if you, like I said, you agree with my vision and plan, you automatically become a GRCAM member. That's going to help speed up the process. And our next step is for us to get this film project fully funded and made so I can move from behind the computer, and I will be in a better position financially to first purchase property here in the city of Chicago. Secondly, I would buy office equipment, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants that's going to help me build the best African American business within the United States, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. And what makes us different than Pan-Africanism, we're going to work with the community. And we want to bridge a gap between the African American community and the African immigrant community here in America. I want to make sure that both communities, that we're going to heal. Black Americans is going to heal from that slave mentality. African immigrants is going to heal from that colonized mindset, because we've been separated due to this Atlantic slave trade which took place. We've been separated for 400 years. So we're going to have to learn how to respect each other's culture. We're going to learn how to do business together. And we're going to make sure we root out corruption. We ain't going to have that garbage up in this business. And yes, it might be a threat to a lot of other Black Americans that's just about running off at the mouth and about trying to undermine, but we want to make sure we expose those type of people, and we want to make sure that we move forward. Once we get this business started here in Chicago, I can turn the business over to my management team, and I can expand to South Africa and to prove to Native Africans that I mean business, because I'm going to apply for dual citizenship. I'm going to set up GRCAM of South Africa, and I'm going to shoot my second film, African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset. I want to create jobs for Black Africans, not just sit up here and complain about the white man and the government. At the grassroots level, this type of business is about promoting a kingdom economy. In my business, we're going to have two types of business: a for-profit business and a non-profit business. The for-profit business is where I'm going to make my bread and butter. We're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing, because we all need food. food, and shelter. That would never go out of style. And that's how I'm going to make my money. Now, if our time run out, ladies, if our time run out, what I want to do is I send you another link because I want to make sure I get an opportunity to have each person, each of you, to ask me questions, for you to explain who you are, and we'll just do the best that we can. But again, I do this stuff every month. I've been pushing this film project since 25, since January of 2025. Here we are now in June of 2025, and still, if you look on my GoFundMe page, no donations at all. No donations. And my book is still barely selling. And again, this is why I created this platform, because I refuse to be ignored. I'm trying to build something positive and productive. But again, we're going to raise the bar up in here. And that's real. All right. Um, Apostle Faith, please, what do you have to say? Tell my listeners a little bit about yourself. And again, ladies, if we run out of time, I'm going to send you another link so that way we can continue. But I want to give at least all three of you an opportunity to speak on here. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening from here. Kenya now it is night, around 10:49 hours. So I greet you all in the name of Jesus. We find my name is Apostle Faith Karim, founder of Christ Jesus Faith Ministry International page on Facebook, and the founder of the church called Christ Millennium Church Time International. So it's a new church. Before I was working with another church, and then they reached a point where we parted ways, and the Lord ministered to me to begin my own ministry, and that is what I'm doing. We are trying to do planning on how to continue. And I want to thank the Lord because the far He has taken me. It is by His grace. Otherwise, I want to thank God for you, Emmanuel, because I have been following for some years, and I understand exactly your vision, how it is. And my prayer is that may the Lord open a door for finance so that you will be able to execute the mission that the Lord has given you. So this evening, if there are people that are listening to us, I urge them, the they are African. I urge them to support the ministry of the vision of our brother, because this vision touches all Africa, whether you are in the United States or anywhere else, because genocide has taken place or in many countries. In fact, in African countries, I remember in the year 2008, I had gone to preach in South Africa, where I met the xenophobia happening in South Africa, and it was not a good thing. In fact, if there is one thing we can do, we need to support this vision of our brother so that he can be able to help the Africans, sorry, that are in America and other countries, because it is a great and a broad vision. It can help many people. So it is my prayer that there are people that will catch up with this vision and support it. I've been praying, and I believe things will be all right. That is what I can say this night. May the Lord bless.
Let's thank you for what you had to say. Um Evangelist Vera, it looked like our time might run out, and if it does, I'm gonna send you another link, okay?
Okay.
So that way you can do your part. But go ahead,